The pub was slow today, which was a good thing since one of my co-workers was nowhere to be found. Hey, Ashley, where's Brendan?
Oh, I'm covering for him.
She flicked a nervous glance at the empty end of the bar. How can you cover for him while you're doing your own job at the same time?
Oh, well, it's not very busy, and he said he had something really important to do. You would help me out if I had to go somewhere, wouldn't you? It's the nice thing to do.
I would if you asked me, but not for Brendan.
Well, I guess that's why he didn't ask you then.
Can't she see he's taking advantage of her good nature? Ashley, I think we should talk about this. Oh, this is new! How interesting.
I can't talk now. I have to watch the bar.
Oh. Okay, we're just starting. Whoops. Watch the bar. Okay. Well, let me have a think about this for a second. Okay, I'm thinking because this is now an option, it's gotta be important, so we can't say never mind. Right? Right? I mean, I gotta know where this goes. When can we talk, then?
I don't know. Please, leave me alone. I'm busy.
Alright. I was too annoyed at Brendan right then to be calm anyway. It was better to let it rest for a while. Sometime soon, though, we needed to have this out. Okay. I'm alright with that. Oh, hi. Yeah, I wonder how Flynn's gonna word it exactly. Not interested. Okay. Peggy stuff. GKO stuff. Oops. Not this time, girl. Another new thing. I stepped into the pub looking around for Ashley. It was a bit before the time she was supposed to be at work, so hopefully I could catch her.
Oh, Flynn! Hi!
I jumped. Ashley stood behind me, having just entered the room.
You here for a drink? Give me a second, I'll be right with you.
Actually, no. I wanted to talk to you about something. Do you have a few minutes? She glanced at the clock, then back at me.
I can have a quick chat, sure.
Slide. That went perfectly in time with the music, just... I motioned her over to a table in a corner, away from the other customers. I'll be quick about this, but I need you to know that I am very serious about everything I'm going to say. Ashley opened her mouth to respond, but then shut it and nodded. I'm really worried about you. I think you've been putting yourself in danger. It's really great that you trust everybody and think people are good, but I think you've destroyed your sense of self-preservation. Those guys the other day were trying to mug you, and you can tell just from talking with Brendan that he's a little... well, off.
Brendan is a nice...
I'm not saying he's a monster, but he's not a nice guy. You shouldn't just give people all your trust unless they've proven themselves worthy of it. Otherwise, you risk getting hurt. I don't want to see you getting hurt.
You're being ridiculous. I've lasted this long without anything bad happening to me.
Have you? What would have happened if I hadn't found you the other week? Those guys could have kidnapped you, taken all your money, or worse.
But they didn't.
Because I was there.
No, because people aren't as bad as you seem to think. You're just cynical.
No, you're being an idiot. You're behaving like a little child. You're going to get yourself killed because you're being completely asinine. Dang. Wow, I was not expecting Flynn to get so, irate about the entire thing. Huh, okay. Have I come to regret my decision? We'll find out. Ashley stared at me, looking as if she was about to cry. I glanced around the room and realized I must have raised my voice because everybody was looking at us. Seeing my glances, they looked away. Ashley, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. I really don't want anything bad to happen to you. Suddenly, a mischievous grin crossed her face. Okay. Are you okay? You're going through moves really fast.
You like me, don't you?
What? What? To my horror, my face grew hot, and I knew I was blushing as deep as the carton of tomatoes from the other day.
Oh my god, you do like me! Aw, Flynn! You should have just told me! I've had a crush on you for weeks.
Oh, Ashley.
She had?
Now we've just got to go on a date. What do you think?
No! Smash! I'm a bit yes, of course, but I'm a bit worried about this talk we had and the thieving situation that's about to come up. Like, oof. Oh boy, that's gonna be rough. But yeah, let's go on a date.
Yeah.
Awesome! Well, I've got to get started on my shift, but let me know when you're up for it.
Yeah. Okay. Ashley bounced away behind the counter, and I stared at the table in front of me dumbfounded. What just happened? Did I just get myself a date? With Ashley? I guess if I really wanted to, I could just tell her where to do whatever we'd be doing, and off we'd go. Well. Good job, me! Dazed and more than a little confused, I left the pub and headed back to my room to collect myself.
Well. Oh, Flynn. You kill me sometimes, man. Oh. Okay. We're taking her on the same date, it looks like, that we did as Malia, but that's okay.
Are you ready for our first official date?
Am I ever? How do I look?
You're absolutely scintillating.
Aw, you're so sweet. What are we doing anyways?
I figured we could go out to eat. It's time for you to be served by someone else for a change.
That sounds lovely. Let's go.
The restaurant was an upscale Indian place. I didn't expect it when I came, but England was packed full of delicious Indian cuisine. So much that they didn't even consider it foreign anymore. Curry was everywhere. We ordered desi cocktails to go with our food. Mine involved coconut, vodka, lime, and mint. The conversation flowed easily along with the meal. Finally, while waiting for the dessert, I decided to ask Ashley something that had been bothering me for quite some time. Ashley, how do you manage to be so trusting? I know you've been let down in the past. Even when I want to trust people, I have trouble doing it. Ashley took a sip of her drink.
Well, I guess I just don't want the bad things in life to keep me from chasing after the good things. Ever. My dad was like that, always worrying about something or other. I saw it as a girl. The more anxious he got, the more negative he felt, because he couldn't make the world perfect. He couldn't make the things he worried about stop happening, so he just felt worse and worse. He started drinking too much to try and drown out how he felt. I'm pretty sure that's the reason my mom left him. It just wasn't safe anymore. He let his burdens multiply until they dragged him under. Then, even though he was a good person, he started doing bad things.
Ash, I'm so sorry. Great job, Self. Way to drag the date down.
No, it's fine. Now that I think about it, that's what made me so flexible. I know now that even if I get hurt, I can recover. No one can hurt me so bad that I'm broken unless I let them. I'd rather trust people and get to experience more stuff than live in fear all the time, you know? Oh, goodness gracious, look at these desserts!
The waiter placed our chocolate cheeky, some sort of nut brittle with spiced chocolate mousse on top, in front of us, and Ashley dug in. As I watched her eat, I realized that I had been wrong. I acted as though Ashley being so trusting made her dumb or naive. But right now, I felt like I was the dumb one.
Aren't you going to try it? It's delicious.
Oh, right. Whoa, this tastes even better than it looks.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
The rest of the dinner was absolutely wonderful. After the dinner, Ashley walked me to my room. I hesitated in front of it. That was a really great dinner. It's been a nice evening so far.
Yeah, it has.
But it was really short. Do you want to come in for a bit?
Of course I do.
Oh boy, here we go. I pushed open the door and Ashley followed me in.
So, what would you like to do?
I'd like to see you out of those clothes, is what I wanted to say, but that was far too forward.
She'd be into it, man. She'd be into it. Trust me. Trust me. Dang. Flynn is like direct. I think Molly was like, oh, we thought we could play video games or something.
Besides, I'd never been with a woman. Never even been to second base. For that matter, I wasn't sure what all the bases were supposed to be. I really didn't know what to do. My eyes darted from the bed to the TV to my computer.
Okay, no, the video game line is still here. Okay, it was something else with Malia then.
We could play video games? Ashley frowned at me.
Is that really all you want to do?
No.
What else do you want to do?
Ashley stepped closer to me, trailing her fingertips over my arms. She winked at me.
I think we can make this night something really special.
I nodded vigorously, my mouth full of cotton.
What do you think?
Yes.
Don't you want to help me out of this? There's a zipper on the back.
Ashley turned around and lifted her hair. With trembling hands, I undid her zipper. With a cat-like grace, she slipped out of the outfit and turned to face me.
Well, what do you think?
I locked my eyes on hers and fought to maintain what little was left of my cool. You look amazing.
You're not even looking.
I am. It's just, I've never seen a girl undress before. Not a real one.
Pardon? You've never seen a real girl undress before? How do you see a fake girl undress? I've got questions, Flynn. Okay, thank you, Ashley.
What? You've seen a robot naked?
That's not what I meant. She giggled at me.
I know. You have at least seen pictures, right? You know what a woman looks like.
Of course. But there was a big difference between a picture in a magazine and a living, breathing woman close enough to touch.
Ah, I got you. A real woman. Okay, in the flesh. Gotcha.
Well, good. Wouldn't want to give you too many surprises. I'm getting cold here by myself. Here, let me give you a little hand.
She slid her hands under my shirt and pulled it over my head.
Are you okay with this?
More than okay.
Perfect. Now, what else would you like to see?
That is more than seen. Ashley. Wow. But hey, we got a different picture than we did with Malia. Yay! Thank you, Ashley.
It took a little time for me to get comfortable, but Ashley didn't seem to mind. Once I relaxed, it was a night I would never forget. Real boobs.
Not the fake robot ones. The real thing. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, okay, let's explore. Time for another date. Oh, I'm so pleased that there's some pretty big differences with Ashley for a change. That's wonderful.
Did you know that a bluebird is a symbol of happiness?
Is it really?
I really want to see a bluebird today.
We were at the park, walking from tree to tree and peering up into their branches. Ashley said it was a dream of hers to go bird watching, and I had never been, and we had extra free time because of the semester break. So we made an impromptu expedition to the park, borrowing binoculars off of Danny. Why he owned them, we did not ask.
He's an avid bird watcher.
I wasn't sure that a park in London was really the best place to find a rare bird. Wouldn't it be better to look in a forest or field? But here we were. Might as well make the best of it. What are those blackbirds with the white bits on their wings?
Magpies! They're everywhere.
They were sorta cute. We waited and watched. There were countless pigeons, wood pigeons, and little brown birds that didn't seem worth noticing. That's a funny one. That tiny little brown bird with a red face.
Flynn, that's a robin!
Really? That doesn't look anything like our robins.
That's because our robins are fake sparrows.
I wasn't sure which was more confusing. The times when the English called familiar things by different names or totally different things by the same name. Ashley, there are bluebirds in England, right?
Of course there are. Haven't you heard that song? There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover.
She started singing in the middle of the park. A passing couple stopped to watch. Ashley, you're making a scene.
Don't worry about it, Flynn. Listen up and enjoy life a little.
Maybe she was right. I sat in the grass for a few minutes just to enjoy the sunlight and the feeling of being out with a pretty girl. Suddenly, in the distance, I saw a flutter of wings. They seemed a strange color. Ashley, look! She grabbed the binoculars and stared in the direction I indicated.
Oh, sorry, Flynn. It's just a parakeet.
There are parakeets in London?
Thousands of them. Haven't you seen them before?
I guess I wasn't looking at the birds. We spent hours looking for a bluebird. I gradually became convinced they didn't exist in England, or at least in London. Finally, I convinced her that we should head home and eat something. Ashley followed me with sagging steps.
I really wanted to see one.
We've only been once. You can't give up after one day.
But I really thought we were going to see one.
I'll make sure we do. Someday.
Someday?
Well, there's always time. We're not dead yet.
Does that mean you'll want to stick around in England longer?
Well...
Ha! Caught you red-handed, Flynn. This is even better than seeing a bluebird. I'm satisfied. Let's go home. Oh, but first let's get some ice cream.
That was some really good ice cream.
Definitely. We'll have to go back there sometime.
I'm still upset that you wouldn't let me try your blueberry ice cream, though. I've never had that flavor.
You can't take food from the Kingsbury women. We're like lionesses. We'll fight to defend our prey.
Really? Then... I kissed her, then pulled away and licked my lips. That was tasty.
Hey, no fair.
If you say so. Next time we go back, I'm getting blueberry and stealing whatever you're having.
Rude. That's so rude.
There's nothing you can do about it.
We'll see about that.
That afternoon was really fun.
Adorable. One little change there with that date. Alright. So we're continuing on...
Now that Ashley and I were an official couple, it could be a little distracting watching her at work.
Oh yeah, we haven't had a workplace romance since Angie.
She always looked so cute in that top, and the way it showed off her figure made me think about other things. It could be distracting for the other patrons as well. Ashley was so innocent sometimes, she didn't even seem to notice how everyone in the pub was checking her out.
Oh, she knows.
Or did she?
And this is for you, miss.
Thank you so much.
She beamed at the customer and wiggled a bit in place, giving her breasts just a tiny bounce. Was she doing that on purpose? She was just doing her job. It would be ridiculous for me to get jealous or expect her to suddenly change just because we were dating. Right? Still, it was a relief when she stepped away from the bar long enough to leave a swift kiss on my cheek.
Yeah, suck it, Brendan. Suck it.
Oof. A relief until I realized that now Brendan had a whole new reason to hate me.
He broke it off with her. He did. Nonsense.
That's odd.
I walked into the kitchen to find Ashley on her hands and knees searching under the cabinets. Is something wrong?
Yeah, the frying pan went missing. I wanted to make an omelette, but without a pan, I can't.
She pouted, her cheeks puffing out like a chipmunk. I'll help you find it.
Thank you, Flynn.
Together, we searched every corner of the kitchen, each and every cabinet, drawer, nook, and cranny. The frying pan was nowhere to be seen. Someone must have taken it into their room, or maybe they borrowed it for an event? A banging pots together march?
How strange. They should at least be kind enough to leave a note. Well, thank you for helping me. Now I can rest easy even if I don't have my omelette.
For sure, girl. For sure. Until you find out it might have been me.
Next comes the sugar and the egg. We mix them together in a separate bowl with a whisk, like this.
Ashley lightly stirred the bowl, a slight upward turn to her movements that caused the liquid to froth.
Now you try.
Ashley, after what happened with the cocoa, I really think I shouldn't.
That could happen to anybody. Besides, it didn't take that long to clean up. The cocoa didn't get into the nooks on the ceiling, that's the important part.
I squinted up at the flecked white ceiling. I'm not so sure about that.
Here, try it.
I took the whisk in my hand and tried to mimic her movements, twisting my wrist around in a circle. Like this?
Use your elbow more than your wrist.
Confused, I began moving my entire arm in a circle. The liquid was barely moving. This doesn't seem right.
Here, let me help you.
Ashley stood behind me. What are you... She reached around my body and took my hands. Gently, she pulled my arm into the motions she'd done earlier, slowly at first.
Like this.
As her arm moved around, her breast pushed up against my back, closer and further as the movement rippled through her body.
And then you just go faster.
She sped up my arm's movements and the mixture started frothing as she wished. I tried to pay close attention to what she was teaching me, I really did. But all I could think about was her body touching mine and how warm she was. Okay, let's stop.
Is something wrong?
I took the bowl and set it on the counter. Nothing is wrong, you just need to come with me.
Why?
I took her arm and pulled her up to my bedroom.
What's going on?
I stripped off my shirt and stared at her. That wasn't fair. Her eyes widened.
Oh no! Whatever do you mean?
Wait, you did that to me on purpose. Ashley slowly removed her clothes, apparently enjoying the pained expression on my face.
Of course I did.
That was devious. That was absolutely horrible. I thought you were a nice girl.
But I am a nice girl. Can't I show you how nice?
Whoa. That wink. It took a while, but the cake did eventually get made. Eventually. We got there. Flynn's winky face, oh my goodness. Alright, you're missing your ball.
Ah. I missed you tonight. Oscar made me stay late to help close up. Can I come in for a while?
Of course you can. We talked to each other about our days as we snuggled beneath a thin cotton blanket. But that devolved into a tickle fight, which then devolved into something else entirely. You know, I never pegged you as a freaky one.
Ha! Shows what you know.
We had a great night.
And that's all you needed to know. Okay, taxes, and now we're gonna plan to go to the beach. Ninja Mark's gonna help us out. Alright, and the thieving stuff is already underway. So, let's go hang out with Mark and Ashley.
I made my way over to them. What are you two up to?
Flynn, this is wonderful. Two of my favorite people in the same place.
Mark, we're always in the same place. We live in the same building.
Yes, but now you are all to myself. It makes me so happy. Do you want to play a game?
I guess.
Let's play Truth or Dare. What do you think, Ashley? Truth or Dare?
Truth then.
Truth. Okay, I have to ask you something embarrassing. When was the last time you wet yourself?
What?
You have one chance to get her to tell the truth. Anything you want, any naughty thing, and you ask her when she last peed her pants?
Of course. It is embarrassing. So she must speak or change to a dare if she is afraid.
That's not juicy at all. She probably last peed herself when she was a kid, like the rest of us.
Laughing too hard at a comedy show last fall. Never speak of this again.
I'm not even going to think about this again.
Alright. And now our beach date.
Ready, Flynn?
I shook my head vigorously. Ashley had a dark gleam in her eye and she was grinning like a homicidal maniac.
Too bad.
She threw the volleyball into the air and jumped. And spiked it straight into the ground next to me, creating a small crater. I blinked in the emerging dust. Can you even do that?
You can the way I play. It's your turn, Flynn.
Fine. If that's the case, I won't lose. Ashley and I played against each other for hours. And I mean hours. We weren't even keeping score was the thing.
Take this!
Ha! Back at you!
Nah!
But Ashley and I both had violently competitive streaks. Who knew that behind that sweet smiling face lay the heart of a demon just waiting to rip your heart to shreds?
Let's go again!
You're on! Guys? Jihyo, look out! Jihyo lay sprawled on the sand, one arm over her head in a soap opera-esque pose. Normally I would have laughed, but... Jihyo! Wake up! Jihyo blinked and stared straight ahead of her. Why did you do that?
Are you okay? Thank God you're okay.
Ashley hugged Jihyo, but Jihyo pushed her away.
Why do you always have to be like this, Ashley?
What?
I glanced between Ashley and Jihyo, sensing an odd tension between them.
Why can't you ever just enjoy the moment without having to be the best? You never think about...
Ashley looked pointedly at me and Jihyo sighed.
Whatever. We're getting ready to eat now. You two can come if you want.
Jihyo left, wobbling slightly as she regained her balance. I helped Ashley to her feet. What was that about?
Jihyo and I, right before Brendan and I dated, we might have had a fling.
You what?
Yeah, weird, right? But it ended quickly. Jihyo sees through people much faster than I ever did. She saw through me, too.
What are you talking about?
Huh.
Ashley sat patting the sand next to her. I settled in beside her.
Well, maybe you've noticed this a little, but I have a tendency to overcompensate. I can be too nice to people and...
That's the understatement of the year. Ashley glared at me, so I let her continue.
Point being, I guess it all comes down to the fact that I feel like I'm not good enough. That's the crux of it. So I try to be really nice, and I try to do a lot for people, and I try to be good at everything. I want everybody to like me. I want to be friends with everyone. I want to feel like everybody's attracted to me. I'm greedy. So it's not surprising that I ended up with a guy like Brendan, or that Jihyo got sick of me.
Who else have you dated?
Of course you're good enough. I wrapped an arm around her shoulders, not really sure what to do or say. You know you're enough for me, right?
Yeah, I know. Obviously. I mean, you're dating me, so I must be, right? Anyway, there's nothing you can do about it, and I don't want to talk about it more, but it's something I need to confront within myself. Do you think you can be there for me as I do this?
Of course I will be. I care about you. If I can help you at all, I will.
Thanks.
She smiled and kissed me lightly.
With you there to remind me that I matter, I think I can do it. You're like evidence, you know? Anytime I get down on myself, I just have to look you in the eyes and remember Flynn cares about me. Then I can get back up and keep fighting the good fight.
Fighting the good fight. Well, I'm on your side. Ashley beamed, then stood and held her hand out to me.
Ready to go eat?
Definitely. I'm starving. We headed inside, hand in hand. As long as we were both together, we could do anything. Yeah, about that.